Hello everybody, welcome back. We are on episode 5 and I will first, let's show you. I haven't done a whole lot around here. I made an attempt at redecorating the house, although it basically looks the same, just with different types of blocks. I used the stone bricks and decorative blocks and some smooth redstone and widened this window a little bit. But I realized after doing all that work that what I really want to do is make a bigger building. So today we're going to be working on that a little bit. It's going to be kind of an aesthetic day, at least for part of it. And I'll show you, we'll probably look at some possible designs and then I'll build it off camera and then show you the result. But other than that, I don't want, the thing is I don't want to move this whole thing. It's working very nicely, and so what I want to do is build a new building around it. So I'll be tearing most of this down, if not all of it, and then building around it, trying to make a much bigger building that will give us room to expand if we need to, which we will. I also, ignore these three things for a moment. And I will explain that I also replaced, there used to be an iron pipe right there where this relay is. And what was happening was when something was in the powered furnace being cooked already, like maybe from this relay, if I was cooking some of this basalt or stone or whatever, and something from that induction smelter down here, had a byproduct, which I have set up to go to the left. Well, the byproduct is supposed to go to the left and up through the iron pipe and into the powered furnace. But since something was already in the powered furnace and there's only one slot here, it was just getting ejected out of the pipe and falling onto the ground. So, and of course, like I mentioned before, I can't use RedPower tubes there. So I ended up just putting another relay here. And it works fine. It's a little bit overkill just for something that I hardly ever will use, getting these byproducts out of here. But it's fine. And not only that, but then it's a lot easier to just, if I want to make glass now, I can just set the output of this thing to output cobblestone. Or sorry, not cobblestone. What was I thinking? I guess that's for smoothstone. If I want to make smoothstone now, I can just set the output to that to push into the relay and then cook it. For glass, I still have to come over here. But actually making glass is pretty easy because this relay gets filled up with sand now. So I can just grab a bunch of the sand and then go stick it up in here. And I think that's all I did to change all this except for, all this stuff. So this was, you may have seen in the comments where some of us were talking about using a magma crucible to power, to smelt netherrack into lava to power the engines down below. So I've got that set up here. Let me go down. And I've got, let's see, I can just dig around to show you this. Hopefully we don't get any creepers or anything dropping on us. So beneath the magma crucible, there's the magma crucible. So I've got these liquid ducts coming down and around and then filling up all of these magmatic engines. And I started actually with RedPower. I didn't have the ability to make those liquid ducts yet. So I started with, where is it? Here we go. Fluid pipes from RedPower, and if you haven't seen these, they look really cool. I love how they're rendered. If you start getting bends in them, they have these cool little pipe connection things. But for some reason, these weren't working quite right. What would happen is I tried a bunch of different configurations, but for some reason, whichever engine the pipe hit first. So if I had it in this configuration like we have now, this first engine here would never get filled up with lava for some reason. And I started out actually with a different configuration of having the pipes come in from below, from down here, and up here and then splitting left and right. And when I had that, this engine would never get any lava, but the others would. So I ended up just making some of these liquid ducts, which was my plan all along anyway. And they work great. So we're keeping them. Okay. And of course the liquid ducts provide their own light, which is nice, and they have a little bit of internal capacity as well. So even though the engines are full, there's still some lava in the liquid ducts, and I've got everything turned off and I don't have anything coming out of the magma crucible, but there's still a little bit of extra in the system if I need it. I also put this lamp here. It's inverted because the engines are inverted, but it just, when the engines are on, the lamp's on, so it's easy to tell. One thing I want to do very quickly is replace these golden conductive pipes, because I've already had them almost explode. There were a couple that were really built up with energy, and you can tell because the clear bit inside will be totally full with the blue energy looking thing, which is why we have this setup as well. That's why I made the liquid transposer. So we're going to be making some conduits, and I'll probably do that off camera. And probably do that before we rebuild this building. So I will do that and get back to you guys here in a moment. But we're basically going to be making the thermal expansion version of these golden conductive pipes, which are energy conduits. They don't explode. They can handle loops a lot better than these, and they're also a lot more efficient, even though they're a bit more expensive. And I don't know if I'm going to get to making a energy cube yet, because that's even more expensive, and I've only got... oh man, what'd I do with it? Oh, there it is. Hardened glass. So we've got 5, and I think you need 4. Well, let's look. We need... yeah, I also want to make a bunch of these portable tanks. That's my idea for getting lava from the nether. But we need electrum and diamonds and 4 of these for an energy cell. And then we need a bunch for conduits. So, and this only makes 4 conduits, and we're probably going to need at least 12, I would say. So that takes care of 3 of these guys. So I need to make at least 2 more, and would like to make even more. If you're wondering how I got the obsidian, because I didn't make a diamond pickaxe, even though I do have a few diamond, not very many. I used equivalent exchange, and okay, I have the tools. Here we go. And if you don't know, you can get oh, here we go, looking for things again in here. Okay, you can take 2 logs. Actually, I don't know if this works with Extrabiomes logs. We'll have to see. But anyway, 2 logs gives you obsidian with a minium stone. And so I crafted a few obsidian with those. Yeah, it doesn't work with Extrabiomes logs, of course. Most things don't seem to. But that's how you can get obsidian without a diamond pickaxe, which is pretty handy, I have to say. So yeah. Like I said, gonna replace these here off camera, and maybe do a little bit of preparation. I probably need to get some more of these types of blocks for rebuilding the building, because I think it's going to be... I may not have enough. I've got a pretty big store here, but I don't know if this is going to be enough or not. We'll have to see. Okay, we got that done. So let's see. We've got all of those conductive pipes replaced with conduits here. You'll notice that conduits, when they connect to machines, they have a little connector symbol here. If it's blue with the arrow pointing in, then energy is going in. If it's orange with the arrow pointing out, which I can show you down below, then energy is coming out. So all these are going in. Just basically the same setup as before, but with a different kind of energy pipe. And I can leave these on all the time pretty much and not have to worry. I've got a charging station here for this energy cell, which will collect all the excess energy until it gets full anyway. And these we can pick up and move somewhere else. So this will be really useful in the future. So I'm just going to leave that there and let it charge. it's only accepting power, so it's not going to feed any back in. So it's not acting as like a buffer, but I actually made 2 of these, and there's another one down below I'll show you in a second. I don't have to worry as much about, well, actually, I'm still not generating enough power. This thing takes 20 MJ per tick, and I'm only, as we figured out before, I'm only outputting, I think, 18. So, and all the other machines take close to that as well. Sorry, I'm only outputting 16. I was needing 18. Now I need like 38. But here's what we have down here now. We've got the conduits coming out of the engines, and I may need to expand this with some more engines in the future, but that shouldn't be too difficult to do. And here's the other energy cell that I set up. And the reason it's kind of set up in a weird place like this is because you have to have at least, let's see if I can show this better. Oops. I couldn't have placed it in this space because these arrows can only be blue or orange in the spot that they're in. So here, let me just show you. I think that'll be easier. So if I were to put this guy here, see how this is orange on both sides, and if I try and switch, say I want this to be input for the block instead of output, it changes both of them. So if you want to have like an output go into an input on another block, you got to give it at least 2 of these conduits distance, so that one can be an output for that block and the other can be an input for the block you want. So there we go. That's the output, that's the input. And then over here we have an output. So this is acting more as a buffer. It doesn't have anything in it because we're using all the energy that we're producing right now. But if we stop using energy, this will start to slowly fill up. And then in the future, if I have the engines turned off for some reason, energy will just get sucked out of this buffer instead. Say if I run out of lava or something like that. So that's what that's there for. Let's go ahead and put the wire back so I can turn this off if I need to. Yeah, I think that covers everything down here. Uh-oh, how come I can't move? Can't move. Okay, interesting. What is going on? Another thing I wanted to show you guys briefly is the crescent hammer, which if you don't have one of these, you should. It works like a BuildCraft wrench, except it's way better. For one thing, it's not bugged out like the BuildCraft wrench has been. I don't know if they fixed it. There was a recent build of BuildCraft and I didn't look at the change notes, so that might be fixed. But so you can use it for anything that you need a BuildCraft wrench for, but you can also use it to do cool things like maybe it doesn't work on iron chests. Vanilla chests you can spin around. You can spin just about any block that you can spin. You can spin with one of these guys. Even the jack-o'-lanterns down here. So if you happen to put a jack-o'-lantern down like this and you don't want to see the face of it, you can just spin it away. So very useful little tool. Works with a lot of vanilla stuff as well as BuildCraft. I haven't tested it on a lot of things. Like I don't know if it doesn't spin the barrel apparently. But yeah, hello. Gonna have to go kill you. All right, so we've got all this done. I'm pretty much done with this for now. I've got the netherrack going into the magma crucible, which is being burned into lava, which is going straight down the tube and into the engines. And I think because I don't have enough power, they're not getting enough lava. So that's something I'm gonna need to work on, I suppose, is getting some more engines set up down here. Which just means this isn't going at full speed because it doesn't have enough power. This would be full instead of half full. Well, and you'd see it here. So we would like to get this up to full speed. And if I calculate everything right, I mean, sticking with magma crucible or magmatic engines is, I think, a good idea for now because they're not too expensive. They run off of lava, which is what we're basing everything off of here. I've already got 4 of them, so if I add 4 more, that would give us 32, which I think would probably be fine because this takes 20. It won't be running all the time. It's just running all the time now because not everything's full. And we're going to have a buffer down there for keeping the energy stored. And these engines aren't running, or these machines aren't running all the time either. So I think if I go make 4 more, that will probably work out well. Although I got to figure out where to put them. Maybe I'll just put them right underneath here and move this line because then I don't have to use up more of these conduits because I've only got 3 left. So if I put 4 more underneath facing up, I think that will be perfect. So I'll get back with you guys once I've done that. Okay, we got that sorted out. So we have lots of power coming in now. We're almost at max on our magma crucible. And we're probably, going to run out of netherrack pretty quick here. So I'm going to have to go mine some more. But this is great. This is going much faster. We're getting more lava. And what I ended up doing, it's a little bit harder to see here. Let's see if I can. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So I ended up running the lava, the liquid duct for lava down and underneath. You can see it kind of going down there now. So it goes down and underneath these 4 engines, which are all right here. And then in order to allow the on-off switch to work for all the engines, I just put some red, what are these things? Jacketed wire. I told you I forget what everything's called. Jacketed wire underneath all of the, well, in the corner here between all of these engines. And even though it doesn't look like it connects, it actually works. I tested it out. I can show you. Put a lever down and turn it on. All of the machines, all the engines turn off. So that's good. That's still connected to the lever up above. So that's a pretty nice little compact way of turning them all off. I thought about splitting it into 2 different signals actually to have it sort of like at half power if I needed to. But I think with all the redstone energy cells, we will be fine. This is still at 0 because all of the energy being produced is being sucked out by the machines up above. And this one is actually getting quite a bit, so I reduced the max input to 10. It's 100 by default, and I didn't want it to just suck up all the energy that was coming in, even though it sort of looks like it's at the end of the chain. I'm not sure how the energy gets distributed, and it was sucking a lot in, and the magma crucible wasn't getting up to full power usage. So it's still not quite at full, but it's pretty close, which is good enough. So this is much more efficient now. I don't have anything running in any of the machines right now, but I think it will be good once we do, and I can always go in here and turn this completely off if I need to. So we are done with this. It's time to build a factory around it. And after that, probably next episode, we're going to work on some means of doing some automatic mining, because this is all we have. We've got lots of iron, a little bit low on other things, copper and gold, tin. Oh, by the way, I was going to mention that what I ended up doing to process all of my ores was I put all of my iron and lead and silver and things I don't think I'll use a whole lot of in the side that goes through the induction smelter to make the rich slag. So I got a lot of rich slag. I got almost 2 stacks of rich slag out of about 4 stacks of iron ore and let's see, not gold, about maybe a stack of silver and 2 stacks of tin, something like that. And then I went and used the rich slag, of course, in the middle route to process all of my copper and gold ore. So I didn't have that much copper, even though copper is pretty easy to find. For some reason, I haven't found that much yet. So I ended up with triple the copper and gold than the ore I had. So that was pretty nice. So I guess, yeah, one other thing I need to do, like I said, is go mine some more netherrack. So I'm going to do that off camera. I go to mine some more netherrack. Like I mentioned previously, get all the blocks ready. We might have enough though. And then we'll get started building. Hey guys, I'm back and I've been gathering a lot of materials. I'm currently smelting a bunch of basalt and regular cobblestone so that we can make lots of decorative blocks. Also grabbed a little bit of jungle wood. If you're wondering how I got so much basalt, I did do a lot of digging myself, but I decided to use my last 6 diamonds to make a couple of mining turtles here. And I just gave them each a stack of coal and told them to tunnel. It's like one of the default programs that tunnels out a 3 wide by 2 high tunnel. And so I set them up over by the volcano and had them digging next to each other, and I was digging next to them. So all 3 of us were excavating a large part of the volcano down. And I'll probably do that with some of the red stone as well. The red, not redstone, but red stone, red rock. So, although I don't know if I'm going to use that in this particular project, actually, but I do like how the black walls with junglewood trim around it, how it kind of looks. I'll show you what I'm thinking here. I grabbed a bunch of these things just to show the types of things I think I'm going to want to do here. So let's start with like something like, oops, that's not what I wanted. One of these guys. So I think something like this would look pretty good. Did I have this backwards? I don't remember anymore. Well, we can try it both ways. So something like this for a window. If you imagine a glass pane in here, or glass, or maybe just glass, I would use that to show you, but I don't want to waste it yet. Although actually it's super cheap now since sand is essentially free. Maybe I should waste it. Yeah, let's do it. I don't have a lot of panes, but I can always make more. So I'm gonna try it with panes first. So I think this looks kind of nice. Not sure how I will extend the walls if I do something like this. Another wall idea I had is sort of the opposite of this, which is more like something like this, I guess. And I don't know why I'm doing them 4 high. I could easily do 5 high and probably will. But this is just to get an idea. So, and of course with let's make some more of those. With the stairs like this, it makes it look like it's actually pulling in like a windowsill, which is kind of nice. So I kind of like that look. It actually looks like the wood is connected to the glass panes. And then possibly do something like maybe let's see. Okay, let's assume this is going to be our wall. And then we could do something like have a little bit of the jungle wood trim here. The reason I like, oops, I think the reason I like it with the black is because of the horizontal lines. I think look kind of nice. So we could have a wall that kind of looks like that. We could even put more of these decorative blocks every so often. Where'd they go? There we go. Like that. So I'm kind of liking how that looks. And then for the floor, probably we'll do some sort of industrial looking stuff. I'm just thinking the stone bricks, and maybe use these as an outline in some areas. So, oops. So something like that, and then possibly, you know, if there's a separation between two rooms, we could do something like that between them. And again, I kind of like having dark walls but bright ceilings. And I also like using a lot of skylights, so we might be doing that as well. But for this, let's just do that. Did I fall on the other side? No, of course not. All right, let's use our scaffolding. Good old IndustrialCraft scaffolding. Love it. Yeah, so have a ceiling that's kind of nice and bright and smooth. Doesn't have to have a lot of detail. And then again, we could do a little bit of detail in certain areas if we want to or need to, like that. A little bit of a trim detail. I have to say too that I was thinking about using RedPower microblocks, of course, and you know, in my previous Let's Play, I used them a lot, and I still can't. They have this here. You know what? I'm gonna show it to you instead of trying to explain it, and we're gonna have to sleep in a second here anyway. So I'll probably cut this out. Okay, here we are in the basement. I cleared this out a little while ago just because I needed some dirt, believe it or not. But this is a good spot because it's nice and dark. There's a little bit of lighting coming in. And so what I wanted to show you is the difference between vanilla slabs, half slabs, and RedPower half slabs. And you can really see it when there's a lot of difference in light level here. But you can see the sort of lighting glitches, right? Like there's a nice smooth gradient on the vanilla slabs, but the RedPower slabs, you can see the difference. You can see these sort of jarring level differences on them. And in the previous Let's Play, I just sort of put up with that. I didn't think it would bother me that much, but honestly, it was like always under my skin. Like, God, I wish it would just be smooth, you know? And I don't know. I still don't know where the problem lies. Like if it's a vanilla Minecraft thing or Optifine or Forge or RedPower, I don't know where the problem lies. But because of that, I'm not too keen on using microblocks for aesthetic stuff. I'll use them for, you know, to separate wires and tubes and things, but yeah, so I'm pretty much for now just gonna stick with vanilla building materials or building shapes, I guess, which means no basalt stairs. Actually, you know what, the one block that seems okay with the lighting is basalt, and I think it's just because it's so dark as it is that you can't tell the lighting levels quite so easily like that. But so I guess we could make basalt slabs and turn those into stairs or something if we wanted to, but for now, and if anybody knows why that is, and I know people have said before, like turn on smooth lighting, but smooth lighting is on 100%. Graphics are fancy. Like, I don't really know any settings that would help, other than, you know, as far as I know, it could be my video card, you know, right? So, or the drivers or something, which are the latest. But anyway, enough of that. So I think we're going to go with something like this for the factory, or whatever we're going to call it here. And I've laid out, these dirt blocks are not from Enderman, they're from me. And I'm going to lay out, or I have laid out, kind of where I want the rooms to be. And the idea I'm having is, right now it's sort of laid out as a plus shape. Here, let's get our scaffolding out. Maybe it'll be easier to show you. Let's do it right here. probably high enough. But the idea, we're basically going to make kind of an octagon shape here. It looks like a plus right now because it is. But you can kind of see, so there's going to be the central room, which we're standing in. And this is going to be probably where most of the storage will go. All the chests and barrels and anything else will be in this room. Then that's taller than everything else, but I was just trying to figure out how high I wanted it to be. But you'll have one room this way, one room out that way, one room out that way, and one room there. And instead of making it sort of a plus-shaped building, I'm going to actually make the walls go along the diagonals like this. So it'll be like a big octagon, which I think will be kind of nice. And these corner areas we can figure out what to do those as well. But each of these side rooms are going to be for different types of processing or sorting or whatever. And obviously, since all our ore processing is already over there, that's just going to be in that room. So that'll be like the ore processing room, and anything more that we need to do to process ores or anything we'll put in that room, and it'll all get piped into the chests or barrels that are on this side of the central room. And so basically what we're going to be doing when we get around to the sorting, which will be a while off, but once we get there, instead of having like one big sorting machine, I'm thinking of just sort of sorting everything separately as we go. In other words, I hate it when they land on the roof. In other words, we'll have like each room will do what it needs to do and then sort what it needs to sort and go into the central room. So it'll be like a bunch of smaller rooms that sort their own materials into the final room, if that makes sense. It'll probably make more sense once we get there. And then on top of the central room is probably where I'll put the bed and any other sort of personal stuff, personal items, tool chest and everything. Partly because it's nice and centralized and there'll be probably a good view up from above, and partly because it'll get us higher up off the ground so that when we want to sleep, if there are enemies nearby, or they won't be nearby basically, because I get that every once in a while here still. It's so close to the ground and such a small tiny room that I'll get guys just coming right up here and then I can't sleep because they're right at the window and it makes me really nervous. So I think that's going to probably do it for this time, and I will work on this before next time and try and have the building built looking like this. So thanks for watching everybody, and I'll talk to you later.